You see, I don't sleep well at night for fear that I'm going to turn on the news and find out there isn't any more housing.
We're here today to protect our friends, neighbors, loved ones, and fellow Minnesotans who've overcome homelessness from harmful and reckless federal budget cuts and costly and cruel policies. Last week, HUD announced devastating cuts and rule changes, unprecedented in both their scale and speed, that directly threaten over 170,000 Americans, 3,600 Minnesota households who've overcome homelessness, who are now living in supportive housing. This is really a code red for decades of bipartisan progress on proven solutions to homelessness nationwide.
We are here to launch the Losing Sleep, Losing Homes Vigil, a 12-hour act of solidarity and prayer. The vigil is a visible expression of our call to love our neighbor in the most vulnerable moments in each and every one of our lives. Housing is not just a policy issue, it's a moral issue. No one should lie awake at night wondering if they will lose their home.
The truth is, we know how to end homelessness. What we lack is the moral and political will to do so. That's what this vigil is about. But the most important thing I want to make sure that we don't lose is the human story at the very center of all of this.
My name is Betty Allen. I'd like to share a little bit about my story. Supportive housing doesn't just give a person a roof, it gives them rest. It gives them peace. It gives them a chance to finally breathe. I feel safe enough to heal emotionally, physically, and mentally. I feel human again. We are survivors, but even survivors need support to stay strong. Today, I'm asking you to stand in solidarity with us. Protect supportive housing. Protect the people who depend on it. Because when someone has a home, they have a chance. And everyone deserves that chance.
Every person deserves a home. Housing is not just a policy issue. It's a moral and a spiritual responsibility. Stand with us for a Minnesota where everybody and every person has not just shelter, but they have a home.
Scripture tells us again and again that God's people are accountable for how we treat the most vulnerable. People who stand alongside our neighbors when the systems around them fail. This cut will make it so much harder for families who were finally able to sit down at the dinner table together in their own space with dignity and with pride. It is not too late to stop these changes. Minnesota's leaders can choose to be at the forefront of pushing back on these inhumane new regulations. What we do here now locally matters nationally. With your help, we can turn these policies around.